Hello guys, welcome back. It seems that I keep recording every time I have a stuffy nose. I'm so sorry. Right now it is currently 6 o'clock a.m. Here's my cat real quick. Alright, say goodbye to the kitty. Where was I? Okay, so I am recording this at 6 a.m. because number one, I've been trying to postpone posting, and number two, I heard that when you're like half asleep, you speak your truth. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Today we'll be talking about AI art. Alright, let's get started. So I got my iPad, got my little list to topics to go over. So number one, let's talk about model collapse and also how AI cannot survive without real artists, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already talked about. But I'd like to add on to the sea of shouting artists because two is better than one. Alright. So first of all, what is model collapse? Model collapse is when large image generators deteriorate as more AI data is used to train them. So if the website is full of AI art slop, you get sloppier AI art. How that works, I actually don't know, so I should probably search it up. This is from techtarget.com. You know, ELA teachers always said don't use .com, but sorry, almost all of them have .coms in it. So they're trained on some data sets, but if they're trained on older AI models, then they can only like pull out so much out of that. Like, okay, think about like a mirror, right? Except there's like two mirrors, so you're seeing like both dimensions, right? And then as the mirror gets like smaller and smaller, the detail sucks. Or you can think about like taking a screenshot and then just looking at the detail just slowly get uglier and uglier. So it's probably something similar to that. When like every time you try to pull out some information, you just get dumber and dumber. So that's basically it. That's what model collapse is. Oh my god, I forgot to say, this is not an AI support video. We're only talking about the negatives here. We're really biased. Well, I am. I don't know if you are, but I don't like AI art. I think people who do AI art and solely AI art, like, just like write a prompt and then posted it online and say that it's theirs. I don't think that's a real artist. I believe that's fraud. But we'll get into more detail about that later. So anyways, back to model collapse. I'm saying that AI shouldn't replace artists because they can't even survive without artists. So this innovation isn't really as high tech as people make it out to be. And you know, the web is already infested with more AI technology. What is happening? Okay. Anyways, the web is infested with more AI than ever before, and it's just like, what data are you gonna pull now? Because guys, I don't know about you, but it's looking like more AI art than real art that I'm seeing here. Oh, also, I like how Pinterest decided to have that feature where you can decide if you want AI or not on your feed, which I'm really grateful for, because I had to leave it for a second because I was like, damn, every single thing is AI modified. I can't even pull inspiration without a super ultra smooth picture rendered in 4D, 4K, in whatever program they use. Let's move on. Using AI is like having a partner who eats a lot, except it's just eating on Earth. So basically, I think like in terms of like deciding if you're really an artist or not, let's just say art is about your imagination and expressing that imagination in some shape or form. That's just my subjective wow, that is my subjective view on art. I think it is about expressing creativity or expressing emotions, which AI just doesn't have, so that's probably why I don't like it. But basically, using AI for your ideas is like kind of paradoxical to me, because it's like, if it's about expressing imagination, except you got like a buddy over here, like you're just asking the buddy, hey, can you like generate some like SpongeBob pregnant picture, and they like show it to you, and then you just like kind of copy, like it's like, don't cheat, I mean, no, copy my answers but don't make it obvious, you know? You're kind of doing that, and it's like, sure, you have like the idea and sure you can like change it up, but I'm pretty sure like you're not drastically changing it into like creating until you can consider it your own, because it's like, sure, you can like fix up like some messed up tweaks here and there, but overall 90% of the work was done by AI, and 100% of that just ate the entire Earth in the process. So, and if like thousands of people, not thousands, millions of people are like using AI and just like keep generating images and shit, it's like there's gonna be no Earth to even make art in the first place. Sorry, not sorry. Also, I feel like my art would never be mine personally if I ever used AI for direct inspiration. Like, if my reference images were just an AI photo, I feel like that's like not mine. It's not anyone's. It's like, this is a robot's idea. I have the imagination of a robot, you know? I just don't want that feeling. I don't mean to make it sentimental. It's just like, I kind of want my own creativity, my own imagination. Which brings me to my next point, which is, me personally, I don't want to lose creativity. And I'm sure you don't too. Because if we lose creativity, it seems like humanity is no more than a sitting rock, because you know, we can have like these intelligence, smart brains, you know, but creativity and expression, that's what makes us human as well. And if that also manages to be taken by robots or AI, then I feel like we won't lose all of the creativity, but it's just like we're not gonna have like as much as we did. And you know, I'd rather have all of it. How we would lose creativity? Well, sorry. How we would lose creativity is like how we don't learn. See, I'm pulling this out of my ass. I'm trying to like connect the dots. You should probably do your own research, because I'm like heavily biased. I'm not a trustable source. I'm just some random person on the internet spewing that they don't like AI and just shitting on it for like what, 20 minutes? Okay, anyways, I feel like losing creativity would be like how kids like lose intelligence. So, you know, like I got a bud who uses AI, and like AI for their work. And the thing is, they like never truly learn how to do the work. So whenever it comes to like test day, they're screwed, because they don't pay attention in class, because they're like, oh, AI just will do the work for me, and you know, and eventually the goal becomes the grade and not actually learning. And they slowly get more and more dependent on this AI, to the point where their intelligence is like in 6th grade, but they're almost graduating, if you know what I mean. Like, something about skipping the whole process is like you don't actually learn anything, because you didn't even use your thinking cap. I think creativity is the same thing, because if you like start to depend on something else in life too, you want to talk about life? No. If you start depending on like other people for ideas, it's like, and you start depending on it more and more to like have your exact ideas, and you don't really use your imagination, then I have a feeling that you won't have an imagination, period. Like, yeah, I guess that's just it. You know what? Let's fact check it. I'll just search it up. Here's an EDU. This one says, will AI kill human creativity? I'll find a way to I'll find a way to show it on the screen. So let me just share this real quick. Sorry if you hear like dramatic violin music playing in the background. That's just my radio, because I can't deal with silence. Just speaking in a void. I like to be dramatic about it. Anyways, so this says, remember how AI was supposed to hit the more mundane, mindless jobs first? Okay, fake Drake. That's nice. Okay, the death of creativity. Continuing with Maslow, he argues that human creativity needs positive emotions to flourish, and positive emotion is fed largely by what we find at the top of the psychologist's pyramid: status, recognition, and self-actualization. So it's no surprise creative artists, including musicians, have often traded off money for exposure, and that innovators within corporations put in long hours and fight hard to have their name listed on a patent, even if the company keeps all related profit. So, ironically, the faster AI changes things, the faster we will be coming to a creativity halt. The problem is not trivial. Innovation is what keeps the human race ahead of its own problems. If humans don't exercise their creativity or fail to be rewarded for it, creativity will be lost. We lose what we don't use, just like with muscle. That's what I was talking about. Wow, they just worded that like much better than I ever could. But here's the plot. Oh, sorry, I was just trying to pet the kid. But here's the plot twist. It's not inherently bad. It's just like how you use it. So if you're responsible, I'm pretty sure you'll keep your creativity. What does it say? So what do we do about it? Stemming with this creativity crisis will require thoughtful leadership. Patent law was created to protect the little guy and incentivize innovation. As a start, the legal profession needs to update our conceptions of intellectual property, along with rules and restrictions for using someone else's intellectual property. So, basically, we gonna be copyright striking. Yeah. Well, people, companies, big companies need to start copyrighting their work so that AI just doesn't upload other people's work, if you know what I'm saying. But basically, AI would make you lose creativity if you don't know how to use it, which I think is like a very high percent of people. Not in like an offensive way. It's just like if I used AI, I don't think I'd be able to stop. Just because like I gotta like when it was just like just posted on Instagram, Meta AI as a chatbot, I felt like it was like an addiction because I used it for like a couple, like 1 month. Me just saying like I'll never use AI, but then I just break it to you that I used AI. I used it like just to talk to it, see what it was about, and also see if it produces like some real facts. And to be fair, I thought it was a trustworthy thing to rely on, so I kept asking it a lot of questions. But now that I am more aware, I realize that it's not reliable in like its information as well. So not only are you losing your imagination, you're using someone else's, that's not even someone else, just a random generator that's inaccurate. And you know, like you just have inaccurate images now, and that's like worse than like just pulling some pictures online. Like at this point, why don't you just get some references online? You know, I don't understand. Actually, hold up, we're gonna go on a tangent. All right, look. So the little issue I got here is people say that AI won't replace artists, they'll only help artists, and by doing so, the people who know how to use AI will exceed the people who don't know how to use AI. It is not AI that will replace humans, but humans who know how to use AI. Yeah, that stuff. I don't get how having a partner who eats Earth while you're at it, eating Earth just to make one of your images. I don't understand why you can't just pull some references that are already online, like on Pinterest. Because I feel like it would probably make better references than whatever random generator, not even random, average generator gives you. And I feel like AI is nothing new unless you're letting it do all the work, which I think that's where we get people not being responsible with it, because when AI does all of the work for you and you can post that and say it's your art, I think you're not an artist. Where am I going with this? So we're still on losing creativity. Basically, if you're on the argument that you're using AI because you just want the ideas and then you just go and make your own artwork, you know? Like, why can't you just use people's real already made artwork that's already posted on the internet? You know, because like how we talked about with model collapse, AI art is just a combination of those millions of images that are already posted online. So just use the one that doesn't take a lot of energy on Earth. Unless you are not even looking forward to even making the art in the first place, which there I see a problem. Anyways, let's move on. The problem with skipping the whole process. I feel like we already talked about a little bit of that, but here I go again, okay? So, the problem with skipping the whole process, if I do make a problem out of existence, I'm sorry. I feel like art is not actually really about the product. It's also about the process as well. Basically, I think having to spend hours and hours of time on an art piece, or you know, just getting through the motions, getting through the basics, that alone is more valuable than any work that AI art, no matter how perfect, will ever make. See, some artworks, they have questionable detail, but it makes sense once you understand the story. But the thing is, AI doesn't have a story besides me typing like, oh, Studio Ghibli style character, beautiful looking. There's not much to go off on that, you know? It's like if you draw a scar on you and you're like, and people ask you, hey man, how'd you get that scar? And you say, oh, I just drew it. Or you're gonna have to make something up, which I think is really artificial. Haha. It's like really fake of you to not be honest with that. Also, part of the reason why I like art is because of the process, how it takes hours to spend time on, because I have a lot of free time, and art really just takes like a bunch of that time up, and it's like you have something to do instead of, you know, maybe scrolling for hours, and instead I'm just painting for hours. It's a good replacement if you like just have nothing better to do. And I feel like if we keep what's it called? Keep when you like really prioritizing convenience and quickness, our quality is going down like that. And it's like there's just something about the process. It's like a part of art. Like, why would you skip 50% of what art is for? Like, this is so new to me, and it's just like so astounding, baffling how you could just ignore what art is. And also, like, if everyone's like focusing on the product instead of like actually making it, what are we? There's gonna be like no value in good looking art. So yeah, that's just my take on AI art. This is the conclusion, but overall I think AI art will probably keep existing because some idiot decided to give this to the public who probably had no reason to have it, like, at all, until they found it one day, and then everyone kept getting addicted to it and hyping it up. I feel like if you don't know exactly what you want, like, especially in the art field, what exactly would you need AI for? Because it's about like making things go faster, which art shouldn't be fast. It's like, if you don't know what you want, you shouldn't be using it, because if you don't know exactly what you want, you're gonna take all of what AI gives you. And I think if you're irresponsible with it, you can quickly become dependent and fall into the trap of not really having a sense of yourself anymore. And you know what? If you don't care, that's on you. But here, I don't support it. So just leaving my digital footprint on my thoughts on AI. And if that comes to bite me in the ass later, that's amazing. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye bye.